It's the Full Force News Burst, proudly brought to you by Battle Action Force, the Treasury editions. I am your host, Christopher McLeod, AKA Diagnostic 80. Now let's get into the news. Full Force indeed. It's still kicking off. Every single day, it would appear, we're getting more and more reveals, aren't we? So, yes, we've got more to get into today. I hope everyone's doing well tonight on this Thursday evening. We've got lots to get into again, haven't we? We've got what I thought was going to be the only news today. The Quick Kick Beachhead 2-pack Night Force Walmart listing popped up today, with obviously going live on the 24th, which was nice of them to put in the little box. Was it like 7 in the morning for Pacific? 7, 8, 9. It's about 10 a.m. Eastern time, I think. So yeah, we've got that popped up with some images. So I'll be looking at those images. And and some other thing happened, but I forget what it is now. Oh, it was another render reveal. So after yesterday's absolute whirlwind of a day, we got one more from Entertainment Earth, who I don't know if they were supposed to wait a day. Maybe they were. Maybe that was just like a thing, or maybe they just forgot to post. That does sound like an Entertainment Earth thing to do, doesn't it? In any case, yes, Entertainment Earth did get us another render reveal, and it looks as though we've got a mainline wave of 4 on our hands. And based on the listings, I have made a few updates, not necessarily updates I think you'll expect, but I'll show you my workings out. And then, we'll just get into lots of cool images, the close-ups of Mainframe, looking at all of the different bits and pieces he comes with, because he comes with a lot of cool stuff. I'm very excited about him, actually. But anyway, hope you're all doing well in the chat. Lots of you in there already. Hello, guys. Hope you're having a good one. Let's get stuck into it then, I guess. Starting with Walmart. Yes, so we got, like I said, Walmart posted the listing for Beachhead and Quick Kick, obviously to go live on the 24th of June, which it states on the website as well, in that kind of like cell box thing. So we got the packaging images. They don't have a lot of images on Walmart, I will say. Whenever they've had like stuff in the past, with the exception, I would say, of a few. Obviously, they had a few images, quite a few promo images for Shockwave and the Rat and the Night Pursuit. God, you remember that? So they have had them in the past, but for the most part, I think you kind of have to wait for Pulse to drop their they're kind of, because they'll have it on their site at the same time in small quantities for premium members, the usual hoo-ha with that. And then everyone else will just have to pre-order from Walmart, only to have it cancelled closer to the time. Anyway, so expect obviously Beachhead and Quick Kick 2-pack to go up on Pulse at the same time on the 24th of July. Right then, there's the first packaging image showing. I've seen this in real life, and so have you guys. If you've watched our footage from New York Toy Fair, you'd have seen this one and the figures out of the box as well, and all their gear. It is a packed set again. Like with the two packs, they do kit them out ridiculously. And there's a lot of reuse, obviously, that goes into that sometimes. And then, but especially with these 2 packs, there's a bit of new in there, but for the most part, there's a lot of reuse. And but they redeco it, and they give Malibu Stacy a different hat. They move some of the guns around, and all of a sudden it's like, ooh, this is fresh and new and clean and different. Classic marketing. But I do love this set. I will go out on a limb and say this is one of my favorites. If it hadn't been for the fact they did Quarrel, then I can't argue with that. A Quarrel and a Night Force Falcon, which improved on the first Falcon, that is a classic 2-pack. And to be fair, they've had some bangers in the Night Force. Big Ben's an absolute killer figure. Love it. Walmart have had some decent exclusives. The Mole Rat was dope. Tunnel Rat's cool. Shooter's nice. I'm just looking. Oh, Wolf Spider! Friggin', they've got loads of cool figures in the Night Force. In any case, this is a dope 2-pack, and yeah, I'm feeling this one a lot, especially the quick kick portion. I love obviously the fact we're getting this redecoed beachhead, but quick kick is so dope in this. Then we get a shot of the back of the packaging, which finally I can put this to bed now. So I've said this before in the past, but like I just said at the start of the show, um, we have seen this before at New York Toy Fair. When I was at New York Toy Fair, I didn't even think to ask to look at the back of the boxes until the very last minute. And then when I asked, we were getting kicked out and, kind of ushered along. And Lenny was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And then he went to kind of go do it, and then it's like, "Oh, come on, guys, you got to get out now." And it was like, "No." He was like, "Which one do you want to see?" I was like, "All of them." And then it was like, then we got the call, and I was like, "Oh, damn it!" So I was gutted that I didn't get to see the back of the packages. But now that we've seen it, now I can just relax now. It's out there. It's good. It's there. I don't think there are any others that we haven't seen now from that. Are there any others that we haven't seen now from that New York Toy Fair kind of like reveal thing? Did we? Are there any others that we haven't seen yet? Maybe Target Breaker. Have you seen the back of Target Breaker's box? I feel like Target didn't post the image for it, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. Oh, by the way, I should be looking at the comments and I'm not. Sorry. I was not even paying attention to I completely ignored you all. I'm very sorry. Ryan says that Beachhead Deco is a fashion crime. Too bad the Legacy Police guy's in his limbo. Pulse box, Walmart shipper bag or cancelled. Yes, Max, indeed. Chris G says Walmart. I've already accepted. I probably never get this. I can't. Bobby says I can't wait. Bobby Wold says, "Oh man, I can't wait to order this from Walmart so they can cancel it on me." I know, same. I'll take Beachhead in any flavor, says Wardog 2A. Yeah, same. I want to get him in Tiger Force because he's in Tiger Force technically. He's the precedent of Beachhead in Tiger Force exists. So yeah. Yeah, looks like Grim Viper is Night Viper. 3 Cobras last wave, 3 Joseph's wave. Flaffle, I think, yeah, we'll get to that in a second, but I don't think in terms of I'll know for sure. I'll know for sure when we get the kind of pre-order information. When that comes in, I'll be able to cross-reference numbers, internal code words, and know for a fact. But at the moment, I'll show you what I've done when we get to the listings part. But I'll show you my workings out. Night Force mainframe, says Flaffle, indeed. Anyway, Quick Kick looks not too shabby. I know, Droz. I think he's great. Yeah, we've seen Snake Armor, Cal. We've seen front and back. In fact, it's the front that's the front of the box that is the interesting part because it's slightly different for the big vehicle stuff. They have the render on the front, and then on the back they have the kind of like schematic and loadout and all that kind of stuff. But with the figures, it's like the open window figures at the front, the render on the back. But yes, we have seen Snake Armor. How awesome was today? Very awesome, Destro Designs. There is a breaker in hand review out there. Maybe the box back is shown, not sure. You're right, actually, GL. There is a breaker in hand. And he's been out, so it's probably about, and I just can't remember what it looks like. Breaker's box has him standing in a volcano with his canister and 3 Sky Strikers flying past. Thank you, Crusty Old Crow. That is your name. That's your name on the thing. I'm not just calling you a nasty word. But yeah, I believe, now that you mention it, I feel like I have seen it now. Anyway, to zoom in on the back of the Beachhead and Quick Kick one, because I like doing this. I like seeing if I can notice any sort of like, kind of cheeky homages or what have you. Can't really get much from this other than maybe, is this the back of the Springfield Theatre? Anyone know? Because it's got like a dumpster, it's got like a doorway, like a shutter doorway sort of thing. But then in the far back, so like it looks like the back of a building, like in the alleyway, and then behind them, like all the way to the back, looks to be like a very futuristic factory sort of like industrial looking entrance to some sort of Cobra, or maybe, well, they wouldn't be in if that's the dumpster, would they? They'd be outside. I can't tell if they're in or out, but with lights the way that they are, and the fact that it looks like a dumpster behind them, I think they're in an alleyway. And that's the either the exit or the entrance, or the back entrance or the back exit, whichever way you look at it. For if you look what I mean is to the right at the back of Quick Kick, there's like what looks to be kind of very futuristic sort of like other building. Kind of looks like the if you're Turtles fans, kind of looks a little bit like the TCRI or TGRI, depending on what version of the Turtles you enjoy. Um, Checkpoint says that Quick Kick looks so much better than his original. How dare you? That Quick Kick is amazing. But yeah, you're right. He looks great. I think he looks phenomenal. I love this little face mask thing he's rocking. When's the Mission Brazil repaints coming next, Chris? I don't know, David, but I would love to see that for sure. I mean, we've got all of the characters now, haven't we? Now that Mainframe's been revealed, it's just obviously, and technically we've got Claymore because we've got the Televiper body, which I'm sure, repaint of that, stick a new head sculpt on it. Bob's your uncle, Claymore's your aunt, or Claymore's your uncle. Snake armor in the background, Cal. Yep, you're right. Is that a snake armor in the back? Anyway, I haven't really been able to see anything. Maybe it might be a bit clearer when we get because again, the image isn't like super high res, so I wonder if we'll see something else in the image. Also, I will point out to you guys, and you may be able to work out what it is, but there looks to be some sort of, it looks like a logo on the floor in front of Beachhead's feet. Just off this is very similar to when it's very similar to when you get when we had the 2-pack for the Tiger Force, Tripwire and Roadblock. On the floor, it was really hard to see initially, but there's like a Python Patrol flag. And I wonder if this is just some sort of like another faction logo that I couldn't quite work out. Or if it's just like graffiti sprayed over like a sewer grate or something. I don't know. But what do you guys think that is in front of Beachhead's feet on the floor? Is that a person in between Beachhead and Quick Kick? Not sure if I can see a head. No, I think I don't know. It looks to me like it's a dumpster with just, trash on it. But again, a high res image might reveal that to be something else. It's really hard to say, I think, personally. You guys might be looking at it going, I know what it clearly looks like this, mate. But their bags of trash to the left of Beachhead. That's definitely a bags of trash. And then like what looks to be like a cage, like a box cage. Do you know what? I think you might be right. I think that is the iguana in the background. I think that's Serpentor as an iguana on the dumpster, because I zoom in on it on here and you can really clearly see the green. Like you can almost see the shape of it being with his little legs sticking out. I do think that is the iguana. Is it a Dreadnoks logo? You might be right. No, it looks like EE. It looks like not Entertainment Earth, but Extensive Enterprises, which may or may not be the same thing. But yeah, that is definitely the iguana, I think, on top of the dumpster. So I think they've squeezed that in. I think again with a high res image, I think we kind of get to see what that is all about. But yeah, it looks really cool, the background. In fact, the more I look at the background there, it just looks like buildings in the background as opposed to an entrance, because that's the sky in the top right hand corner. That's like the night sky. So yeah, that's actually just other buildings in the distance, with lights and stuff like that on them. So that is clearly what that is. Like, when I first looked at it, it just looked like the front of a really fancy sort of like industrial kind of HQ or something, like some futuristic kind of Cobra installation. But no, it's just a bunch of buildings. And that top right hand corner, that kind of like purpley blue, is the night sky as I zoom in on it and really look at it now. So this is starting to kind of come into focus, which is pun intended. And obviously, I'm sure the graph on the walls might have something to give us as well. Maybe like, I don't know, that, yeah, like the kind of Cthulhu legs. Maybe that's, there you go. Maybe did someone mention that in the comments? But the shadow does look a little bit like, maybe that could be Crimson Ball. Crimson Ball is when Crystal Ball gets kicked very hard in the biscuits. Anyway, that's hilarious. I can't believe I said Crimson Ball. Crimson Ball confirmed, guys. Imagine. No. But yeah, I wonder if that's the kind of Cthulhu kind of like tentacles, like shadow on the wall, then maybe. And again, I think some of these things might like start showing to be a little bit like more obvious, but maybe that's what it is. Clearly snake armor. Thank you, RKW. We've had that joke, but I do like hearing it more often, to be fair. Whose bags o' trash? That's a good one, Scott. That is a Dreadnoks logo, says Michael. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, so that's even more interesting then. That's a Dreadnoks logo. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting more high res images of that particular section for sure. And then we have, excuse me, and then we have the call outs, which I zoomed in for all of these because they're great. So obviously we've got the quick kick kind of stolen Oni mask. We've got the Night Force platoon badge, whatever you want to call it. And we've got the Fudgy Interactive. Now, this is what Lenny and Tony were joking about on Quick Kick. He has the little, the little kind of flap down tablet on his secondary, and they thought it'd be funny to make it a Fudgy Interactive. So when you drop that down inside, it should say Fudgy Interactive on the screen, which is adorable. So yeah, I love all these little kind of jokes and little call outs and little fun things like that. So that's another great little addition. Um, Crystal Disco Ball, right in the Family Jewels, indeed, figure six pack. We need an in real life Night Force patch. Yes, Scott, we do, but I think any patches ever made ever again will just create an absolute fire tornado everywhere. True, Alti. Very true. I'm not saying that though. Looks like someone hiding behind the dumpster. I wonder if that is Crystal Ball. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I can kind of see that. But I'm also pretty certain that that is the iguana on top of the dumpster. Anyway, we'll probably find out soon, won't we? Um, so that's that. Lovely. Then, of course, we got the shots of the figures, all geared up, as it were. I can't believe they did Beachhead like this, in a good way. I know a lot of you don't like necessarily are into this kind of deco or what have you, but the fact that they very closely followed that original Toys R Us, was it six pack? Um, for this Night Force Beachhead. I can't believe they did it. I'm so happy they did it. It's so awesome. Like the check shirt and then the digital camo pants. It is a travesty of the fashion world, and I'm here for it. In actual fact, this better spurn some Beachhead cosplay. I may even do it myself. I may even look to see if I can make that kind of green sweater with the black check over it. I definitely want that to be a thing. It wouldn't be a difficult cosplay, I don't think, other than getting like it might be an expensive one unless you kind of made the secondary a little bit. But yeah, like a balaclava. The sweater would be hard to source, and then you can probably get digital camo pants like that. I don't see that being difficult either. But man, I want to do this now. I want to do this now. Beachhead by Christmas. Thank you, Chris G. Weenie Roasters and Ice Auger versus Patches. Vote. Nice one, Fluffle. Was there one more listing for Walmart this year? Well, Comics eCafe. We have one. We have a listing on the listings, but so far we don't know what it is. But it will probably pop up towards the end of the year, I'd imagine. So yeah, is the answer to that. Really, I don't know why I went so around the houses on that one, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. Yojo team, did I miss more than Mainframe release today? Only images for the Night Force 2-pack Rancid Dragon Productions, but in terms of renders, I think it's just Mainframe. Unless there were more and I just missed them. Did anyone else? Was it just Mainframe? I hope it was, because otherwise I'm failing big time tonight, aren't I? Hi John, the new figures look fantastic. They do. That camo 2 is US Night Desert from the 90s. Thank you, Keith. Oh, thank you, actually. Thank you. Night Desert. I will try and keep. Oh, make a note of that. Thank you very much, Keith M. I appreciate that very much. This will help in me trying to find out what the hell that is. Night. I've written dessert, which is even more fun, and I might actually do that later. I might have a night dessert later. Fish food is my favorite. Ice cream. Thank you. I had a feeling there was one more left. Hopefully, another Night Force drop. Hopefully. It looks like Beachhead stole his pants from the Trench Viper in the middle of the night. I love it, says Crusty Old Crow. And that is the best name ever, by the way. Beachhead's arms remind me of Psych Out. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because he had that kind of like padded sweater, didn't he? I think Yojo July is better than Yojo June. I have to agree with that because I got an official reveal. So yeah, I have to agree with that. And the interview dropped in July from Lenny and Tony. So yeah, my GI Joe, my Yojo July has been great so far. Anyway, we also got a back shot, Kitty said, of Beachhead and Quick Kick here. What I love about this, like, and again, we'll see the loadout way more detail on the next image. But what I love is the fact they've got, not only have they given him the swords and the backpack, but also the nunchucks kind of like blade sheaths with those curved blades. It's like a pretty busy and hefty loadout, and I think works with him. I think it really works with him for this version of Quick Kick. Why didn't they show these in June? Well, John, it was because it was a cancelled. Well, the cancelled fan stream is the problem, isn't it? They would have shown them in June, but they cancelled that second fan stream, and everything in and around it was decimated. Bias one says that camo looks way different though. I get what camo it's supposed to be, but the line work is way too defined. The black lines here look like tic-tac-toe. Snowcat at 6,990, nearly at 7K. Come on, Snowcat. Gross. And then we have the loadout image, which really does show you how much ridiculous stuff they've stuffed in here. Stop saying stuff. So obviously he's got his retro backpack, Beachhead. He's got two different rifles for him, obviously, but they're rifles I think we've had already, aren't they? Yeah. He's got the gas grenades and the satchel from the retro Snake Eyes that's been used like multiple times. It may even be Beachhead's now. Does Beachhead have it in his retro version? Where are you, Retro Beachhead? Where is Retro Beachhead? He's here somewhere. Maybe I'll put him in the cartoon section. I can't remember. But yeah. But anyway, yeah, so he's got the satchel, he's got the gas grenades, he's got the pistol and silencer separated so far apart from each other there, which is hilarious to me. And then, excuse me, or maybe the silencers for the sniper rifle, maybe. I can't tell. I don't know, actually, is the answer to that. And then you've got the crossbow, and you've got again his classic retro backpack. Dope, cool loadout. Quick Kick steals everything here. Like he gets two alternate heads, one of which is an Oni mask that he stole off a Blue Ninja or whatever it was. One is the kind of default head, no face makeup. Then he's got the Bruce Lee homage with the paint that's like kind of in the direction and angle of the three cuts on both cheeks in from the Bruce Lee homage, basically from Enter the Dragon. And then, of course, he's got his fudgy interactive secondary, which is amazing. He's got multiple hands. He's got the chop hands, punch hands, C grips. He's got the three ninja stars. Or is that the three ninja stars? Or is it? No, it's the one ninja star effect, right? That's the throwing ninja star effect, I think. I don't think they're three separate ninja stars. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I usually am. And then, of course, you have three like different daggers, the backpack, the swords that go with the backpack, the two long curved blades that Nunchuck has, submachine gun, and two Nunchucker as well. So amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for this set and always have been. Anyway, that's Nightfall's Beachhead and Quick Kick. Like I said, listing is now up on Walmart. Obviously, with the caveat that it will not be live until the 24th of July, which of course is when Walmart CollectorCon is, and we'd kind of expected that to be the case, but now we have that confirmation from Walmart themselves. $54.97 price when purchased online, so a little bit cheaper. And then available for Walmart CollectorCon 7/24 at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern morning times. One of those knives has to be for Beachhead's boot. Actually, that's a good shout, Scott. That's a good shout. Maybe that just when they were lining this up, they failed to realize that. But that's a very, very good point, and I am inclined to believe you on that one. It's very likely that he gets one of those knives, if not two. He might get two of them. He might get two of them. I don't know. Anyway, Walmart is the best place to get your Joes, apparently, says Gil. But my goodness, it's not. There you go. So 11 a.m. Eastern, order cancelled. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, you're right. It took me a while to work that out, but yeah, that's funny. Comicsy Cafe says, off topic, but would anyone be interested if they redid the figure subscription service for obscure repaints and some digital renders file cards? I feel like it'd be successful with modern collectors. I think, mate, they just sell so well in general anyway. I would be down for anything, honestly, and I'd be in for it pretty much all the time, to be fair. But yeah, what do you guys think? Would you be in for some sort of figure subscription service? I mean, I'll tell you now, right? I'll tell you for now, that would be such. I mean, I got so excited during those periods of time when the club would reveal those, because it wouldn't be done at once. It would be like one, and it wouldn't be like a standard time or day. It would be like, we're going to reveal this one this day, wait 3 days, reveal the next one. Like, it was like, come on, guys. Eventually, I think it was like one a day for a certain period of time, and they were revealing them on regular basis. But I used to get so excited when they were getting put up online. I was like ready, like I was literally just refreshing, like everything, just to make sure I saw the new figure subscription reveals. So it would be a lot of fun from that perspective. From my perspective, there, I would love that. But yeah, would we like to go back to that model? I don't know. I don't think it's necessary. Is the answer for that one? But there you go. Beachhead. Oh, Max says vehicle drivers maybe would be a reason for FSS, but it would sadly confirm vehicles we won't get. That's a good point too. Maybe it'd be nice if they did it for just really obscure characters, though. Really obscure, like international homages and stuff like that. Just stuff that you're just never going to get normally. That you can only ever really get either in like the second tier of a HasLab, or like the, or in a 2-pack for a Walmart exclusive. My bad. But you know what I mean? Just, I think it would be really cool to do something like that for those particular things. Anyway, that is that. Now we have Mainframe. I know, guys, it's crazy, isn't it? I don't think I was expecting another reveal so soon. I wasn't expecting one like immediately. I was expecting one over SDCC, but not like today. So this popped up and I'm like, wicked. So another major character gets checked off the list here, doesn't it? So Mainframe, and lots of cool stuff within this one as well. Lots to enjoy here. Now, I think it's been said that this is going to be on the smaller body, because Tunnel Rat's legs in reuse is his top. Well, that looks actually quite new. The top bit. I don't think that's Tunnel Rat's, is it? I know, I could be wrong. Where are you, Tunnel Rat? No, it's not Tunnel Rat. So yeah, that, there's definitely Tunnel Rat's legs going on here. So he is going to be on the smaller side. I don't have a problem with that, though, honestly. I did not know. I will say now, other than obviously Mainframe was coming, we didn't like unofficially or officially know that Mainframe was coming. if that makes sense. So we didn't have him down on any listing or anything like that. He wasn't one that we knew was going to be here. So yeah, this was a complete surprise to me. Massive surprise. Um, I love it. I think this is really cool, and I would say that because I love everything. But no, I'm really into this Mainframe, not just for the figure, which is great, but all of the cool shiz he comes with. And one of the things that make me really excited about the line are all the cool little details that we'll get into right now. So first off, let's zoom in on the actual figure. I think it's a really nice likeness. I think that is a perfectly acceptable Mainframe right there. He looks young. OG Mainframe was pushing 40. I mean, it's all whatever you want it to be, isn't it, in this particular situation? Is this confirmed as the Mo listing? No, it is not. Mo, it is not. But it could be Medic. I just have to wait to. I'll explain the listings at the end. Okay. Otherwise, it gets confusing without having the context on screen. But anyway, lots of cool stuff. Lots of little details on this one. Again, like I said, cool. I'm cool with the head sculpt and cool with the fact that he's a bit shorter. It's cool. You can have short people in the friggin' classified series. Otherwise, everyone's exactly the same, and it's weird. And actually, when I look at Tunnel Rat, he ain't look that short. It's not like he's so grossly short and looks weird, you know. Anyway, yeah. So he's got a very intricate sort of device going on at the top there of his bandolier, as it were. I also like those two little kind of almost like Velcro patch things that go across the zipper at the top. That's quite dope as well. This is what I'm talking about, though. This little device. Now, obviously, we've been a lot of characters that we've seen over the years with JoJo. I've had those Joe Pros that the fandom have named them colloquially. Why can't I say that all of a sudden? Colloquially. Anyway, have named it the Joe Pro, and this is something you kind of expect Mainframe to have. You'd expect him to have a Joe Pro because he's like the inventor. He made it. He's the one that's doing all this stuff. Or maybe Dial Tone was the inventor of the Joe Pro. Who do you think invented the Joe Pro? Breaker. Yeah, let me know. But that said, it was Sparks, wasn't it? But that said, yeah, this is a cool little sort of like differentiating sort of thing for Mainframe, because you just give him a Joe Pro, it's a bit like, okay, standard, but he does need to have something else, doesn't he? So I like this a lot. This is very cool, and also it has a bit of an old school vibe to me. This looks like something that you'd see in the 80s, like a kid's toy, like an electronic toy. Um, like it feels like something, out of the 80s. Small screen, massive housing is the name of my next. What is my name of my autobiography? What? High Tech invented the Joe Pro, says Ed. Okay, I see. People are saying breaker. Was this the blackout game version? Do you know what? That is not a bad shout. Should we have a look? That is not a bad shout. Operation Blackout Mainframe. I wonder what's going to come up. Yeah, not what I wanted. G.I. Joe Operation Blackout Mainframe. That's so funny. I didn't even think about that. Images. So, not really. It's just, I mean, it's Mainframe. He looks the same pretty much, but no, this Mainframe in the Operation Blackout kind of animation is very much the original Mainframe. Very kind of, like the top is completely different. He doesn't have those like Velcro spots on there. Basically that's taken from, I believe that's taken from the cartoon. Those two little Velcro kind of things there, and also that's kind of taken from the cartoon as well. So they've kind of really utilized the Sunbow Mainframe here. It's not the Operation Blackout one. The Operation Blackout one is way more like classic toy than it is Sunbow cartoon. So yeah, it's definitely kind of a riff on the Sunbow thing that he has on his bandolier, which is kind of cool. And also the little the little Velcro straps are really cool as well in there too. I like that. Of course, he's got his classic kind of arm patch, which is really weird. It's just like a red shield, isn't it, with like the kind of like the Mercedes logo inside it, basically in chrome. But yeah, that's going to be on there. So they've included that, and you can see it pretty fairly clearly there. Belt buckle with the, again, the matching the motif that you see on his helmet, both the hat as well. That's cool. Again, nice little touches, nice little details. This, does anyone know what this is? Because I don't. I actually don't know what this is. Again, maybe something that he wears on his side in. Why can't I can't picture Mainframe at all, which is weird because I loved that figure. Had it as a kid, loved it. Not like I haven't seen him recently. Yeah, it doesn't really. I mean, he's got stuff all over his belt, the original, but yeah, it does actually look a bit beret-ish, doesn't it? Maybe it is a beret. Maybe it is a beret. But yeah, God, that card, Mainframe's card art is so dope. For one thing, it looks like he's making beats. It looks like he's a producer making some banging tunes, doesn't it, on that thing? I will say I love what they've done for the upgrade. I just hope it sort of semi resembles that huge mess of a thing. Maybe it is Zarana's underwear, Ryan. How dare you? It's disgusting. But yeah, it does look a bit beret-ish, doesn't it? Anyway, it's a whoopee cushion, says Lone Dragon. Good shout. And then this is on his wrist, so he's got another communicator. I mean, the dude has got more communicators than you'd expect Mainframe to have, who is mainly about communications. But yeah, like, this is going to be cool to see if there's even more detail on this. If there's another little tampo on here, excited to see what's going on there. Oh, it could be looped up cables. It could be cables. Marnius 28. That's actually genius. Could be a roll of cable, couldn't it? Just rolled up. Interesting shout. Interesting shout. Marines don't wear berets, just like Slaughter wouldn't wear a beret unless he defected to Iraq, says 610. Good point, yeah. All of Hector Greedo art was slamming. Yes, it was, Gil, absolutely. DJ Mainframe, live from Belize, says Blitz. That on wrist is a big detector. It is, isn't it? Look at it. It's massive. A bug detector, says Christy. An Ethernet cable. It could be. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, of course he has so many communicators. He has only one gun. He needs lots of backup. He does. Here's the cable guy, Lone Dragon. And then let's face it, this is the absolute winner chicken dinner accessory. I know the Scorpion's not an accessory. The Desert Scorpion is a character in itself, but this is beautiful. So you have, like, effectively his old school, like, briefcase laptop, but it has been updated. Lots of cool little aspects where you can open it out. You can pull little segments out, little access thing on the side there. You've got like loads of these cool tampos on there, giving out loads of information, like a bit of a danger warning. So I like his storage is a bit full there by the look of it. He's loading something and it's nearly complete. I love this stuff so much, and this is what makes me absolutely fall in love with figures. It's this stuff right here, like intricate, ridiculous, cool, fun accessories with loads of call outs and tiny little. I mean, there's probably going to be a bit of there's going to be things in here that they've hidden, purposely put in there that we probably won't know until we get the figure. I just think it's great. Weird that it's red instead of blue, says Marnius. I could see that, but I think the red definitely pops a bit stronger. But yeah, it probably would have made more sense, wouldn't it, for him to have like kind of blue readout. We'll have to see, won't we, how it turns out, how it looks. But yeah, love it. Could be a Wi-Fi analyzer on his wrist. Could be Droz. Mainframe loadout is beautiful. He doesn't need any more weaponry than that one handgun. Yeah, totally. Blue or monochrome green, says Max. Yeah, either of those would make sense for, but maybe it's just like a thing of like, oh, danger, danger, like some sort of giving it some sort of stakes, because it wouldn't, it's probably red for a reason. As you can see, there's a warning line on the light on there and a warning symbol on there and stuff. So anyway, then of course we do get, the green kind of tampos and what have you, and deco on some of the other things. My bad, Chris. Figure 6-pack pointed out Mainframe was Army first, so it could be a beret. Okay, thank you for that. Just thank you for the extra info. Appreciate that. So on the backpack, it's his classic backpack, very very reminiscent of the original, except you've got these little extra bits scanning with the binary code following on afterwards. And we're all gonna have to work out what that means, aren't we? And then connector active, which is a great little thing. It's like you plugged that backpack into the beat generator to this, then just helps him record, and then he's got the microphone on the anyway. Brilliant stuff. Love the little touches, the little extra deco and tampo and what have you. Then we get to the head sculpts, and I just wanted to show the extra head with the cap and the headset, which I think is a great addition for Mainframe. So you can have the head with the helmet, or you can have the head here with the cap and the headgear, the headset, which is kind of like molded on. I probably personally, if I was doing this one, I probably would have given him a different facial expression. Kind of like as if he's talking into the microphone. But it's no biggie at the end of the day, really, is it? Let's face it. But I think that's my only note on this, I think. With this Mainframe is maybe have given him a different head, like facial, feature, not feature, but like give him a different look, and maybe have him with his mouth open, or just ever so slightly, just showing those pearly whites. That's what I want to see. And then of course the helmet, the classic helmet, which is a removable one, which is a nice addition, nice touch as well. So that'll be good. I'm excited for these. And then we can finally reunite Mainframe and Zorana together, finally together. I feel like Mainframe's been one that has been on the list for so long. I was just not expecting it. And then, especially when we didn't have information that Mainframe was coming, it's one of those things where you're like, it hits you out of nowhere, and then you see it and you're like scrambling to just share it rather than actually focus on it and look at it. But anyway, brilliant stuff. And then, of course, it gets even more cool stuff. Oh, by the way, with the backpack, I didn't say before, but I put on the side, there's the cable there as well on the side. Very small. You probably would have missed it. I did, because I forgot I was even looking at it. But that's part of the accessory loadout, the cable that goes from the backpack to the ridiculous briefcase laptop thing. So then we get these. So we've got one of those kind of radios with the kind of flexible antenna, which I love. That's a great addition with calling written on it as well. And then that thing, which looks really dope. I mean, I know everyone knows what they are, but I don't. But yeah, the 30th anniversary Mainframe had a head that made him look super old. It was bad. Yeah, I remember that one. I didn't think it was bad, but it was definitely, he definitely looked old. Scanners and code crackers. Thank you, Marnius. He was around during 86, probably used COBOL. Yeah, probably did. Sat phone. Yeah, that's that with the flexible antenna. So dope. Anyway, love these. I think these are great. And I'm very excited to see them in in the flesh. Plus, also, where's he keeping all this gear? So let's have a look at him. I could have done that a lot better, couldn't I? So he's got a pistol holster on his torso secondary, so in to his left, at the right as we look at him. He's got a holster just under his on his bandolier thing, kind of tunnel rat style again. So that goes in there. Then you have a little, I imagine, like a dagger that is probably going to go in his right thigh, aka as you look at it, the left side. And then one of those kind of communicators or sat phones or jammers or frequency, whatever, maybe that one of those could go in his left, as we look at it, the right hand side thigh sheath, which means he might either have some sort of, well, that's weird. He might have some sort of. So what's really weird, what's happening at the moment, is I think it's because of the red elements on the laptop, the brightness of my screen, and the fact that it's where it's located on the laptop and against the blue. It's literally making it come off the screen. It looks 3D to me. It's so weird. You're probably not having the same experience that I am. I had to really brighten my screen to make sure I could see um, Mainframe on screen. And as I've done that, it literally, the red displays on the laptop have literally jumped off the screen. It's so trippy. It's tripping me out. I love it. Maybe I've just gone mad. Stygian says, is Mainframe part of the wetsuit wave, Chris? We'll get to that in a second. Max says, oh, I get it. The screen is red because he's hacking into Cobra computer systems. Yeah, because like everything else is green. So yeah, it kind of tracks, doesn't it? Chris is tripping crimson balls. Genius, Ed. Another beauty. Thank you, Keith, for the desert night situation. But I appreciate that. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I will check that out. Cover Girl gets a modern data tablet and Mainframe gets a giant brick laptop. I know, it's so funny, isn't it? The fact that he's got he doesn't have, I should say, either the phone that Dialtone has, or the tablet that about 20 of the other Joes have. He gets the hardware. He gets like the proper old school. He's working with Atari. Everyone's at PlayStation 5 and he's working with Atari. I love that about this line so much. Brilliant stuff. Anyway. Yeah, so maybe there's another thing on the back of the belt, which is possible, to carry something else, or maybe something fits onto the backpack, or maybe onto the laptop. I don't know, but I assume he should be able to carry all of his gear. And it might be just something like you gear him up, and then he holds one of those kind of like handheld devices, holds the other laptop in his hand, has the backpack on, helmet on, and then obviously everything else is just tucked away in a sheath. So it might be something like that. Anyway, love it, absolutely love it. I am so excited for these reveals. It's been a hell of a couple of days to get all these really cool, fun accessories, and then finally, obviously, there's the dagger and pistol he comes with. If anyone cared, obviously you do, but you know what I mean. So a dagger and a pistol. There you go. Right. Let's move into the listings. Now, this is my workings out. Now, I believe Grim Viper and Mainframe at the moment. I can't confirm that they were Mo and Sideshow Bob, because we had the Night Viper and somebody else for those two listings, right? Leaked a long time ago. Well, one was leaked and the other one, we just had that information. Now, it's likely, based on what we saw in the previous wave, with all of the moving things around and pushing things out and knocking stuff about, that it's very likely that figures got pushed. One of which I imagine the Night Viper, that was, is possible, or the other alternative, and we don't know yet, is the main thing here, but this is just speculative, or it's just like the options we have until we know for sure, is that Grim Viper was always going to be the Night Viper, and it was just either incorrect information or what have you. So yeah, so I think, well, let's face it, the Night Viper's pretty popular. It's probably going to happen at some point. Let's face it. I don't think it's going to be tomorrow, Ionic Blood. That would be amazing. But in terms of like coming to the line, I don't think it would be too far away. It is a very, very popular troop builder. They'd be stupid not to do it and do a bunch of different repaints of it as well. So for that, it's very likely the Night Viper's been pushed maybe to 2026 or somewhere else. Who knows? What I do know, though, is Grim Viper being a probably an easier logistical thing when you look at the fact that it's a semi-kit bash repaint sort of situation with a lot of reuse. Then you can kind of understand that, oh yeah, maybe they've just gone ahead and, you know, put that into this wave, knowing that it, you know, is easier to do because of all the other issues that may have happened. That said, I'm gonna say tentatively, well, actually not tentatively, but I believe Sci-Fi, Grim Viper, Mainframe, and Wetsuit are the four mainline figures, the next mainline figures. And then of course Desert Scorpion with Scorpion is a mainline figure as well, but it's just a deluxe. It's a figure pet set, different price point. Not part of that four figure wave, if that makes sense. And then of course and then Night Force, Beachhead, and Quick Kick, which is up there as well. The others are we're just waiting on those. So that Target 2-pack, not sure where that is. It's probably going to happen at some point though. Brooklyn 2-pack is Walmart. That'll again will probably happen at some point this year. We've just had Lexington revealed, so Brooklyn probably will be following behind, but we don't know what that is. We know what the 2-pack for Target is. We don't know what the 2-pack for Walmart is. Chairface, I'm guessing, because it's Fanmazon and it's at the figure pet price point, I'm guessing Chairface is probably a Mad Marauders Mutton Junkyard, but we don't know. That's just a guess from me because it kind of lines up and makes sense. And then Kyle, we know, but we can't say yet because it hasn't been name only revealed. Fishboy Deluxe Trooper Builder Pack, we haven't got a clue what that is. And the vehicle, we know, but we can't say because it hasn't been name only. Ralph T is an inactive listing. That is no longer happening in that retro cadence for 2025. All the retro figures have been revealed for this year. The green shirt trooper in the back were the last of those. And then we'll be looking at the next wave of retro, which is on the 2026 listings. But we'll probably see them we'll probably see them revealed in the end of 2025, is what I expect. Because as the listings work, it's in hand by this year, believe it or not. And of course, the only other thing on this particular listing is the Legacy Police Officer, which postponed is the only thing we can say on that one. We don't know when that's coming out or what's happening with it. Not a clue. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I've put Grim Viper and Mainframe on the listings on the left-hand side there, as you can see, but I have not used Mo or Sideshow Bob because I don't know if those listings are these they, or if they have been pushed and these are going to be different listings, if that makes sense. But we'll know. Scott says Claw is shipping next week. I got a shipping notice saying it was already shipped, or it said, sorry, it was one of those emails that I hate from Hasbro Pulse. First of all, it says, hey, this is shipping soon. And then 2, unfortunately, it's been pushed back but then it gave me a date a week ago. So apparently I'll be getting it a week ago. So brilliant. Yeah, they're weird. I don't understand that. It's like, hey, this is shipping soon. Sorry, we've had to postpone it to 1985. So I should have had it already then. Yeah, you should have done. But yeah, it looks like I'm also getting the Claw eventually. Probably get it before the Rattler, which I'm gonna steal this idea of Dan Larson. I'm gonna use the floor in here, which is kind of this grey color, and I'm going to use it to make a fake runway, like with tape. So when I do the unboxing, it's going to be on this fake runway. I think that's going to be kind of fun to do, actually. I might have to do it in some sort of like different way. I'm going to have to think of how to do that because it's massive, that bloody thing. But yeah, anyway. I'm legally bound to say unknown VEH, even though you've explained it, lol. But yeah, what else I think that's pretty much everything from this particular listing set. We've nearly completed everything, which is great. Really excited to kind of clear some of this off. And like I said, I should know soon whether Grim Viper, what those listings are numbers wise and internal code word wise. The important information is it looks like Sci-Fi, Grim Viper, Mainframe, and Wetsuit are the 4-figure wave, the next one. Okay, that looks like the important information from what you can pretty much gather, you know. And then of course, like I said, we've got the 2026 listings here. Now, could it be that those two, the Night Viper and the other, could they be in this listing group now? Has that bumped something else along? Has that taken something else out? Now, now this is interesting because if you guys remember, some of these listings have changed internal code words, not the numbers, but the internal code words randomly changed one week. We had a bunch of listings with SWAT Cats internal code words, and then a couple of them, I think Tyrannus was one. Um, what was the other one? Schlub and Hippocampus. Those three, and maybe one, or maybe Lieutenant Felina was another one. They changed from previous. So, with that said, I wonder if it's because when they changed the line plan and they moved some things around and they realized that, yeah, we're going to do Grim Viper instead of Night Viper, we're going to do this. Maybe that's why they changed the internal code words for the retail for the 2026 listings. It's a what do you call it? It's a running theory that has only come to me now, because when you think about what has been kind of moved and shifted, so Snake Eyes, Monkey Wrench, Battle Armor, Cobra Commander, Major Blood were all expected. They were all expected out of, but not in this order. So it should have been Snake Eyes, Sci-Fi, Monkey Wrench, Night Viper, and I think what was it? And I can't remember what the other one was now. Snake Eyes, Sci-Fi, Monkey Wrench, and then the Night Viper. I think it was. I think that was the group, right? Was it? No, I've completely forgotten. 73, 74, 75. It's whatever 76 was. And now I can't tell which one was 76 because, well, anyway, they were moved and then they changed. And then the other group, which was Battle Armor, Cobra Commander, Major Blood, and then whatever that was, and then Wetsuit, I think it was. Yeah, that was what it was the other group. Obviously, that changed and moved around. And that was a couple. That was like that. So that then bumped two figures, basically. It affected two figures by the sounds of things. And then if we look over to the other side, that retro Ralph T listing being kind of inactive and changing, that's three figures that have kind of probably changed in some way. So that means that in 2026, we got Tyrannus changed. I want to say it was Schlub and Hippocampus. I think the rest of them were pretty much the same or didn't change. So, yeah, I wonder if that had something to do with it. And that's why we got those kind of changes in the. So maybe that's what's happened. I don't know. It's a theory. We'll just have to see, won't we? And like I said, there's the next three retro are on that side of the exclusives and miscellaneous for 2026, and that's Dexter, DD, and Mandark. Looking forward to seeing what they are. All we know for 2026, other than that, then, is Taurus and Red Dog as a 2-pack, and the Steel Core Sentry with Defense Post, which could be on 2025's list. We just can't work out what it is. It might again be a different internal code word, different number. We don't know yet. And of course, I've added the HasLab Snowcat because the number is available on. You can see the number on the website on the Pulse HasLab page. So that helps me, but we don't have an internal code word for that yet. But then again, I don't think we didn't have Dinosaur Neil's internal code word for the longest time, and that was the Rattler, wasn't it? Yeah, Dinosaur Neil is the Rattler, and Jabberjaw was Dragonfly, and the hiss was I forget what the hiss was now. Do you remember what the hiss was, guys? Again, it doesn't matter. Everyone's kind of checked out at this point now, probably. So name only reveals. Whitman, thank you, Bias One. You're paying attention. I like it. So the name only reveals that we know at the moment, of course, are the Steel Core Sentry with Defense Post, Taurus and Red Dog 2-pack, and that's it. We are running low on name onlys at the moment. Of course, the Desert Scorpion was on there. That has obviously been upgraded to the next level, which is this one, the digital render section, which has grown again. It's looking cool, actually, and a little bit more kind of, I don't know, filled, a bit neater. I like it. We're just missing that one spot for a Cobra reveal. We need another Cobra reveal, don't we? Yes, they did move Major Blood and Coco around. They did Yojo reviews. That's exactly what happened on the listings before. Techno Viper was formerly Shuggy. Actually, it was Techno Viper and the MMS, wasn't it? was Shaggy, I want to say. Night Viper and Sci-Fi got pushed down. Yes, that's correct. Right. So digital renders. I've added Mainframe to the list now, so it's nice and neat. It looks. I like this. This is doing a lot for my OCD. Although I would say maybe I should have put the two red characters above each, next in line of each other, and have SDCC Cold Slither to the left a little bit. That would have actually that would be better. That would be even perfect, more perfect. I'll do that next time. Anyway, so this is what we're looking at for renders. The police officer don't know what's happening with that. Don't know. Haven't got a clue. Is it going to come out? Probably. When is it going to happen? Not a clue. Beachhead Night Force Quick Kick, 24th of June. We have a date. It's going for pre-order. It'll be at Walmart. It won't be at Walmart. And and the Pulse website. So it should be on Pulse as well in small quantities. Then, of course, we have Wetsuit, Sci-Fi, and Mainframe, all mainline kind of main figures, the wave of 4 figures, basically. And, of course, the HasLab section there, which is Snowcat, Frostbite, Lady J, Flint, and the Bivouac. Fingers bloody crossed. I want this so bad. I want this Snowcat so bad. Has it hit 7K while we've been on by chance? Because it was at 6. It was close to 7K, which again, it's not the funding goal. 8K is the funding goal, but the closer we get, the better. 6992. God, we're so close, guys. Can we get that done tonight, please? Can we get 7K tonight, please? Let's just get that out of the way. Bloody hell. And yes, of course, for the Cobra team, we have the Grim Viper, Desert Scorpion, and Cold Slither. Very excited for this. Yeah, and for those of you that are saying, well, we've got images for the Legacy Police Officer, we've seen and we know that the pre-order's coming for Night Force Beachhead and Quick Kick. Should they be in here? Yeah, they should, because there isn't another level that I want to make that makes me have to update all the time. I'm keeping it as it is. All right, okay. Has it just gone up one? Has someone just backed it because I was moaning at them to do so? Probably not because I was said anything, but yeah, 6993. Whoever you were that just backed that, did that have anything to do with me moaning about it? If so, let me know in the comments. But it probably wasn't. Right then. That's everything. Thank you very much for right on an hour. Well, not right now, 3 minutes over, but thank you very much for joining me. Before we go, I'm just going to get a quick word from our sponsor in, and then when we come back, we'll have a few more questions before I bring it to a close. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Yo, so thank you very much for joining me. Any other questions before I bounce? Full Force Dance Party time, says Scott. You don't have to buy everything, says Max. Lies. No, you're right, you don't. Thanks for the feed. You're welcome, Yojo Reviews. Arshop says, why doesn't someone just place 2,000 orders of 5 pieces and they can cancel after all of the fence sitters back? Yeah, let's do that. Are you asking me to do that, Roger? Probably no, I don't. I'm not going to do that. When will we get the Blizzard reveals? Asks Lawrence. I hope soon. Blizzard is one of my favorites. I know they're all my favorite, but no, Blizzard. I have strong feelings about Blizzard. Obviously, the connection to the European exclusive Tiger Force version, of course, but the original Blizzard was. I remember a Christmas getting that. I got him, a couple of others. I think it was the same Christmas I got. Would it have been I don't know if it would have been at the same time, but I'm mixing up my Christmases here. But I remember getting the the foot drill from the Turtles, the really crazy module, the sewer module, the underground drill module thing. I got that for Christmas once, and I just loved it so much. But I think it was the same Christmas, but I might just be mixing them up. I remember getting Blizzard and just loving that thing so much, including like the little backpack with the handlebars on it to make like a little mini vehicle. I mean, that's got to happen, hasn't it? It's got to happen. Right then. What am I missing here? People are hesitant to back until they get their rattlers in hand. I don't know why though on that one, Rusty. I think that's definitely a point, a good point to be made, but I don't know why, because this is the quickest we've had. This would be the quickest we've had one in hand, I think. The Dragonfly was fairly, like, that was pushed a bit, wasn't it? Yeah, the Dragonfly got pushed. The Hiss Tank was kind of expected in around a time, like a period, and then was maybe like towards the back end of that kind of period of time, but it wasn't like super late. This one was like, oh, you're getting it now? What? I know it's in batches and not everyone has got them, but the fact that we're getting them delivered now is kind of like unprecedented for a GI Joe HasLab based on what we've had previously. We rolling out to AR? Yes, we are, Gary. Good to see you, mate. Jim Smith said 6932 yesterday, 8 a.m. 6961 today at 8 a.m. It'll be 7K by morning. It better be 7K now. Thanks again, Chris. Hell of that last couple of days. Yes, Joe, big time. Respect Diagnostic. Hello, Bill. Leonaire. Appreciate it. If they would put out an Arctic figure render for 2026, might inspire some Snowcat sales. That's not a bad shout. I'm a bit surprised we haven't seen something like that. Definitely. Mutant module. Thank you, Scott. Yes, I love that thing. Chris, blink twice if Sky Striker is the HasLab in 2026. Stygian, I haven't got a clue, mate, about the HasLabs. I know less about the HasLabs than probably all of you in the comments. Most of the other figures I'll have a good handle on for like a long time in advance, but the HasLab, not a frigging clue ever. Thank you for the early evening entertainment. You're welcome, Chris. Snowcat Funding Anxiety Club, or the SCFAC. I was just kind of like trying to acronym it. Thank you, Blitz. Blizzard got deluxe written all over it by us, and I do not disagree with you. Scott says, after these announcements, we only need 2 more figures from the 86 line, Lifeline and Iceberg. Well, get it going. We need Lifeberg and Iceline, don't we? What? You can pretty much count on them as locks of 26, says Bias. Yeah, that's. I'd be surprised. I was kind of thinking next 2026 we're probably going to have Mainframe, and lo and behold, he's here. He might have been for 2026. They might have pulled him back. So many pre-orders could be changed within the next month, could be hurting the numbers. Possibly, Medic. It's a good point. Detective says people act like Hasbro won't send their rattlers. Weird behavior. Yeah, it's like we're not unless you back a Snowcat, we're not sending you your rattler. Which doesn't work because I have backed a Snowcat and I don't have a rattler yet. I'm thinking the Cobra Wolf for HasLab for next year. That would be great, Joe, but I don't think people will be into that. White says, I got charged for what I'm assuming a snake armor, but got notification for claw, ? Yeah, I got a claw notification. Is Night Force Annie in that 2-pack? That'd be great, wouldn't it? I'd love a Night Force Annie. Annie's all day force. That's my dog, but that's our dog, by the way. Our wonderful little pupper. My rattler might come by December, says Ionic. It'll be here, don't you worry. Don't you worry. Rattler hit UK yesterday, said Red Wolf 1977. Nice. Starfighter says, with today's reveals, we just need a redeco of Footloose and the upper body of Televiper to make the full Mission Brazil. Starfighter, let me stop you there. I don't think they'd ever reuse a head for another character. Like, I don't think they'd use Footloose's head for, Claymore. They'll probably do they'd do another head for Claymore. But we are so close. The fact we have the Televiper, the retro Televiper, means that we are this close to Mission Brazil. And why has it not happened yet? I don't know why, but it should. Moray 2026 says Blitz. That'd be cool. We have more water figures now than snow figures. Can we get some boats? Says Lone Dragon. Yes. Lifeberg, is that who did who did in the Titanic? Yes. Lifeberg, right ahead. I've been waiting for Airtight myself. Yes, Lone. Airtight. Oh, there are so many great characters that haven't been done yet. It's nuts. I read a list out of just the 82 to 94 figures that haven't had characters, that haven't had figures yet for the classified series. And it's like 100 and something figures long. It's ridiculous. There's so many good ones in there too. They're all good. The Thunder Machine will be coming next year. Well, I don't know. That'd be good though. I'd love the Thunder Machine. Will you be doing an unboxing of the Rattler when you eventually get it? Yes, Medic. And I'm not sure if you heard this, but I'm going to be making a fake runway to kind of film it on, to make it like a bit cooler and more visually interesting for people. A batch of snakes shipped supposedly. Claws next week, says Childish. Cool. If people complain about the snowcat being small for a HasLab, they would absolutely lose it on a wolf. Yeah, they would, Scott. Pedro Pascal head for Claymore, says Max. Indeed. Right. Speaking of Footloose, I've got to get into him, haven't I? I'm going to get into Footloose. I've got the Firefighter as well, which is nice. Darklon, got to get into him. I know you're probably sitting there going, why are they not out? I have opened Frag Viper and Blowtorch already. They're now sort of like floating around. Blowtorch is on display behind me, which you can't see, and Frag Viper is out on my desk because I've just fallen in love with this figure. I love every single aspect of it. I love the fact there's lots of different deco in there, different browns, tans, blues. I love it. There's so much interesting, beautiful detail on this bad boy. I love the Frag Viper. I want like 20 of these bad boys. But yeah, I need to bust into these tonight probably. That'll be my homework. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one. So obviously we are ramping up very rapidly to SDCC, and I keep getting very depressing emails from Hasbro saying, you're invited to this, you're invited to that, and I can't go. Gutted, absolutely gutted. So obviously we'll be following closely with all the people that we are affiliated with, obviously at SDCC, and all the news will be reporting on it as much as we can, as much as I can. And then, so it's going to be a busy time. Yojo July does feel a little bit more intense than Yojo June, I find. Especially, I think this year is going to feel like that, especially with one of the cancelled fan streams. But anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one. I also see my Patreon crew probably tomorrow. I'll probably do a thing tomorrow for you guys. I was going to do it tonight, but this happened. So maybe tomorrow for the Patreon. And if not, failing that, I'll see you on the weekend, as well as everybody else. Right then, stay fresh cheese bags. And as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force. Oh, full horse there, wasn't it? That's it for this instalment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.